All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We'll be talking about cybersecurity in the workplace, as well as common threats and best practices. So let's start with a group activity just to fire up what we already know about cybersecurity threats we encountered. So if you could copy this QR code, that'll get you to the app that you will use.
I don't have that app.
So you can go on your computer, actually, you can just type in polev.com and then slash Bobby Lusage 531. It'll work in a browser. And here it is in the chat for you. Okay, I'm going to distribute you to 2 breakout rooms. Stand by for the invite, please. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So the number one threat that we've been encountering apparently is phishing. And then we have email, people, messages, hacking, sharing, of course. Yes. So now let's take a look at our objectives in this session. We'll be talking about recognizing common threats. We'll be sharing some best practices. We've already started that with our last group discussion. We'll be talking about Passkey, and also there's going to be a good news quiz. The good news is there's no pressure, no grading or anything, just fun. Here's according to the Canadian Cyber Threat Exchange, Canadian organizations pay $6.3 million per data breach. Now, that's an average, of course, and there's all sizes of companies in that mix. The spending on recovery from incidents has increased from $600 million to $1.2 billion in 2023. So that's pretty drastic there. Another one that was interesting was also the attitude of small and medium businesses towards cyber threats. So they feel somewhat safe because they think hackers are going after the big money and the big businesses, but they're not actually. For ransomware attack, any little business can suffer and be blackmailed in that way. And let's switch over to Info Security magazine, a magazine from the UK. I thought brought up something really interesting. Who do you think is the main culprit in security breaches?
People.
People.
What do you mean by the main culprit? The person causing
Yeah,
person
who's
the
who's
criminal or
causing the most security breaches?
who's causing?
Intelligent people.
Well,
Those who have
we gotta do something
How
about those,
about
right?
the end users? I think like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily the tech people or the people who are managing the mainframes, but just me as a little end user at the very end. I think
Well,
because
that's
there's so many of
interesting.
us.
That's what I was gonna say. It's usually the employees that are the end problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
I
not
also,
not maliciously. I worked
No.
at a bank
yeah,
and understand the security of banking. Usually it's not actually malicious.
I agree. I was about to say that we ourselves are kind of doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unknowingly, maybe, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Unknowingly, yeah.
Here, James Coker says human error contributed to 95% of data breaches in 2024 through credential misuse, user-driven errors, and there were some other things like actually somebody mentioned it earlier, sharing, and they found that 8% of staff were responsible for more than 80% of incidents.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's huddle together again, and this time let's talk about what kind of measures we have been using so far to keep our cyber hygiene. Please connect to the app again, and then we'll go into breakout rooms. Please accept the invite. Welcome back, everybody. Some of the measures that we've been using is two-factor authentication, firewalls, and antivirus. So firewalls and antivirus, they've been part of our life a long, long time now, decades. Two-factor authentication came in more recently, very useful. And then, of course, there's passwords that are part of our lives as well. Training end users, that's a big one. So now let's move on to common threats. See, I didn't say most common threats because, frankly, we're all familiar with the most common threats. But first, let's go back into 1994. That's when the internet first became available to the general public. And guess who was online back then? Yes, it's true.
Hackers?
And actually, a lot of hackers, yes. So one big experience back then was the Trojan horse taking over your system, wiping things out or stealing your data. And actually, there were already some forms of ransom attacks through Trojan horses back then. And of course, worms. Email worms were, I think, the first ones, and back then we all got them one way or another. And now, of course, we've moved on. Oh, this guy's too early. He'll have to wait a few more years before he enters the stage. So we're going to take a look at a video that talks about some of the very relevant threats of our day.
Tired of getting scammed?
How's audio now?
A year supply of
Needs to be louder.
to claim it, they just need your social security number. Me too. Unfortunately, cybersecurity threats like that are very real and have actually increased by 293% compared to last year. With cyber attacks becoming more clever every day, what other threats do you need to avoid? And how can you protect yourself and your business? This is Mayo Jordan with Tech Republic, and here are the most common cybersecurity threats and how to protect yourself. One of the newest and creepiest cyber threats is AI deepfakes. These threats have been around since 2019 and have recently cost companies millions due to how realistic they appear to unsuspecting employees. And with deepfake fraud attempts increasing by 3,000% in 2023, cheap face swapping apps have only become more accessible and popular. The most common ways you'll see AI deepfakes try to gain your personal information is through email, video or phone calls, or voice and face recognition. To protect yourself, cybersecurity experts recommend learning to spot common indicators of deepfake content, such as inconsistent lighting or shadows, distortion around the edges of the face, lack of natural expressions, and lip movements that don't match up with the audio. The next common cyber threat to watch out for is zero-day exploits. These attacks take advantage of hidden flaws in software that not even the developers know about. The term zero-day refers to the fact that developers have no time to fix the issue before hackers can exploit it. This gives attackers a chance to break into systems, steal data, and find new ways to launch attacks while developers scramble to respond. And with AI enabling faster and more sophisticated attacks, zero-day exploits are appearing in email attachments, compromised websites, and previously vulnerable software and hardware. To protect your business, Tech Republic suggests keeping your software up to date, developing an incident response plan, and installing intrusion detection systems to spot unusual network activity. And luckily for you, ESET Protect Advanced can help you with this and more, using cloud-based sandboxing technology to safeguard your data through a singular solution, giving you peace of mind. To learn more, head over to techrepublic.com. One of the most common cyber threats today is, you guessed it, ransomware attacks. These attacks have been on the rise since 2013 and work when cybercriminals use harmful malware to lock you out of your computer or steal your data until you pay them. These type of attacks typically infiltrate your system through phishing emails, weak passwords, and compromised websites. Studies even show that the stress from these attacks can lead to serious health issues like heart attacks, strokes, and PTSD. To protect yourself, experts recommend regularly backing up your data, never paying the ransom, and installing anti-ransomware software. If you'd like to learn more about other cybersecurity threats and how to protect your business, you can read this article to learn more. As always, head over to techrepublic.com to stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity news. Till next time, stay safe and stay secure.
All right, just to recap briefly the points in this video, they talked about AI deepfakes, zero-day exploits, and ransomware attacks. Okay. And we'll move on now to another video that talks about passkeys. I picked those just because they are really the next generation of end user security. And actually, it's very likely that each one of us is using a passkey in some form at this point. You might not be aware that that's what it's called, but yes, passkeys are on the rise for sure. Passwords, right? Cumbersome. Who wants them? Pass. So instead, we want to reach for the stars. Enter passkeys. Here comes the video for you.
Passwords are a nightmare. Memorizing and organizing them is very difficult, and they can always be stolen or simply brute forced. But there is an alternative, passkeys. How do they work, and what do you have to know about them? Here are passkeys explained in 2 minutes. Simply put, a passkey is any single authentication method that replaces a username-password combination. It can be a biometric device, like a Face ID or a fingerprint scanner on your phone, the screen lock feature, or even a PIN. Whenever you need to log in somewhere, your device whips up that instead of showing you this dreaded window. While simple on the surface, passkeys use some cryptographic magic behind the scenes. They use a thing called public key cryptography. Instead of showing the password to the server, the device decides if your authentication was successful, and then tells the server that you want to log in. This has a lot of benefits. For example, nobody can hack a server and steal your passwords. Passkeys are also difficult to steal through phishing attacks, and are more convenient for the user. This is why a lot of huge companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft are switching to passkeys. But there are downsides too. For example, if you lose your device, restoring access to your accounts can be a harrowing task. So are passkeys a way toward a passwordless future, as many experts claim? Or is it just a passing trend? We'll see that very soon. And what do you think about them?
Just briefly summarize. So here we were talking about passkeys being convenient, secure, well, more secure than passwords that can be stolen anyway. Although somebody can steal your device, right? And they're device dependent, which is it's usually mentioned as a downside, but it's also an advantage at the same time. It depends on what's going on, whether your device is in your hands or somebody else's hands, right? We'll also stop for a moment just for grounding and land acknowledgement. I want to acknowledge that I live, learn, and grow in Fleetwood, Surrey, the ancestral and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Katsi, Kwantlen, the Semiahmoo nations. In the field of education, I believe it's essential to honor the histories and voices that shape our learning environments, past, present, and future. So now, as promised, we have our Just for Fun quiz. Actually, for the end of the session, let's all unmute.
There we go.
Let's go wild. Yeah.
Let the chaos begin. Huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say total chaos. Yeah. I hosted many tribunal sessions during COVID and controlling the microphones of sometimes hundreds of people in the room.
We'll try to be good.
Okay, thank you. Much
On passkeys, I
appreciated.
just wanted to add one thing. Though
Yeah.
it is means because I was reading a book few days ago, and in that a girl got murdered, and the person who murdered her, he was aware of that her phone passkey is her face. So he uses the passkey, and then he enters his phone, and then he messages her parents. So nobody is aware of that she is murdered, and because he is
Wow.
using his phone, and then he enters into his bank and everybody. When police was trying to track that who murdered, they were not actually able to track the time because messages were going on from her phone after she was murdered. So
Wow.
just for fun's sake.
Well,
Wow,
that's very dark fun.
Yeah.
That's more
Very
scary
dark.
than fun. My gosh.
yeah, that's a great story though, like the flip side of passkeys,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, because
Wow.
nowadays people know either it's your thumb or it's your face, so they can use that also. Means it is again a kind of cyber security hack or hassle. Yeah.
Right. Okay, now let's see who knows what, right? Enter kahoot.it on your phone or on your computer, and then the pin is 1418181. All right, so let's get started on here.
I'm freezing up or something. It's not.
Oh no, if you're looking at the swirl in the middle, that's okay. It's just letting you know that there's a timer running. Okay, everybody got the right answer on this one. Let's move on. I think you're also scored by how quickly you answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we're finding out that some people have faster internet.
Yeah. Which of the following is not an example of human error in cybersecurity? Well, everybody got it. Very good.
I lost my streak.
Yeah. And Marianne, you're in the lead. Congrats. Keep it up.
I actually got to look at two different screens here. It's crazy.
According to the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, which sector experiences the highest number of cyber incidents? Actually, this one's tricky because I've seen two different sources saying two different things. So there are two correct answers. And the other tricky thing is I didn't actually point that out during the presentation.
I thought it was a trick question.
Right, because I don't think he
I
mentioned this
suppose it
during
turned out
DA.
yeah. So finance is one of the correct answers. Actually, the other one is healthcare.
Ironically, I picked finance and it told me I'm incorrect.
Yeah, it show finance is incorrect there.
But
So I guess
nobody got
healthcare is
healthcare right.
Oh,
Healthcare is
yeah.
right. Nobody got it right.
Oh, okay, so those who picked finance, I'll have to give you your money back, okay?
Healthcare was my second choice, but I only got one choice.
All right, let's move on. And Marianne is still in the lead.
Not me, someone else. That's me.
Small and medium businesses are less likely to be targeted by cyber attacks than large corporations. Oh, everybody's done. And yes, the right answer is false. They are just as much a target, especially with ransomware attacks. Oh, and we have Patricia in the lead.
Got to be competitive. This thing's egging me on. So,
which of the following best describes a deepfake? And the right answer
Crash and burn.
is an AI-generated fake video or image that impersonates somebody.
Oh, I'm going back down.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Richa. All right. Well done. Let's move on. Penultimate question is, what is one of the most effective defenses against ransomware attacks?
Hmm. This one. Oh, you can get your time.
Oh,
So
I think I'm heading back up.
so depending on the target, this one might be debatable actually, but depending on what the goal and the target of the attack is, usually it's performing regular data backup that will provide you with the most security. And the last question, oh, let's see. Oh, Patricia's back
Back to the
up.
top.
Yep. And last question. What is a passkey?
Batting for 100.
All right. Richa's third. Patricia second. And Vaishali.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect that.
Very nice. Come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this quiz, as fun as it was, I hope for you as well, was also our summary of this session. So I have a few resources here for you, for anyone who wants to photograph them, copy them. And once again, I'd like to thank you all for attending. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, thank you for making this a good session for me.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bobby.
Thanks for
Thank
this
you, Bobby.
Nice
presentation.
meeting
Yeah.
you all.
Nice meeting
Yeah,
you too.
same
Take care.
here.
Thank you,
Thank
Bobby.
you.
It was a wonderful
Bye-bye.
session. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You
You
too.
Good day,
too.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.